What's up, Vortex? It's your good old pal, Amy Gross. Here to rant and rave about pretty much the same thing that we always rant and rave about. So, yeah, my camera angles are really weird because, I do everything manually. And the reason why I do it manually is because, real art is DIY, okay? But the reason I'm having somebody else do my social networking handles or whatever is because I am so bad at social networking because I hate it so much. Like, I can't even force myself to do it. That's how much I hate it. And so I have this friend of mine. Apparently he's taken a bunch of my YouTube quotes and put them on Twitter, and my Twitter is exploding. That's what he says anyway. I don't even know what it is. Honestly, I don't want to know because I don't want to be part of that world. I hate that world. It's a terrible world. It's not even a real world. It's like this world that's been constructed by all these cyborgs or people that really want to be cyborgs as if that's cool, as if that's interesting. I guess it's like everybody's just so desperate to be relevant that they do stuff that makes them really depressed and anxious and paranoid, but they're not even cognizant of this because they have no self-awareness whatsoever due to the smartphone zapping all of that out. And so I was actually just talking to some people at this health food store about smartphone technology and how terrible it is. And what's interesting is that everybody always agrees with every point that I make about it. And they're so in awe of me for not giving into it, you know? Always the non-sheep. The sheep are like, why don't you get one? Why don't you get one? Because everybody else has one. Everybody else has one. Yes. And there has never, ever been a single time in the history of civilization where the masses were duped, okay? That's never happened before. It's never happened. The sheep always do what's right. The sheep always do things that make logical sense, you guys. You know, like whenever they're fighting over a big screen TV and trampling over each other on Black Friday, doesn't that make you so proud to be an American? Doesn't that make you so proud to live in a country that pretty much promotes this degenerate behavior? Don't you love that? Here's the thing, I know that this isn't the only country that's like duping their citizens, okay? It's just there's so many other ways that we can that other countries can't. I think it was Karl Marx that said that like non-industrialized countries, all they have to do is look to industrialized countries to see the image of their own future. Isn't that interesting that Karl with a K said that shit? Karl with a K, who I'm supposed to hate. It's just that, you know, he was right about how an ism that's entirely devoted to capital, how it just makes people so miserable. It makes people miserable, and yet they keep demanding more of it. Now, I guess it takes one to know one, since Karl was most definitely an alcoholic, but I always said that about socialism, how, you know, it doesn't work, so we demand more of what doesn't work. You know, it's the same thing with modern medicine. It's the same thing with education. But it's like, you have a society that's so stupid. They're not even aware of the fact that they're constantly shitting themselves, which is why they have to blame all that fecal matter on somebody else, you know? One of these days, this is going to be the most crystallized bit in the world. It's going to be about how all human beings on planet Earth are nothing more than total shitheads, because everything that's in their mind is utter shit. Everything they digest, everything they listen to, I've said this before, but it always bears repeating, does it not? Holy shit, the sun, man. The sun! So glad Bill Gates exists, because he's going to make the sun go away. Can't wait. You know, the whole purpose of that is so they can go along with that part of Revelation. That's what they do. You got so many people in the country convinced of some biblical narrative. You have all these other people in the country convinced of a liberal lunatic narrative. Climate change and climate change. They're obsessed with that. And it makes sense too, because they would impose way more restrictions on us if they could just lie and say it was for the environment, you know? You really think they care about the environment? Are you serious? What's with all the towers then? All the towers that are like destroying the plant life. You know the towers I'm talking about. I mean, most human beings don't even care about them. They can complain about them, but they're not willing to take measures in their own life to prove how much they hate them. And that's where I draw the line with these pieces of shit, because, like, they don't have shit on me. Anytime you practice what you preach, you come up for every last motherfucker in America, because Americans are so full of shit. We all know it's coming out of every orifice. They gotta have their pill bottle, they gotta have their TV, they gotta have their PlayStation, you know? What would they do without it? What would they do without the opportunity to escape? Because their life is so hard in America. That's what I'm saying. In like more industrialized countries where you have less to worry about, then you have to make up shit. That's why these people are so taken away by stupid petty drama. They don't know how to leave any of that alone, because their life is so meaningless that they're going to focus on some dumb celebrity and what they do with another dumb celebrity. Or they're going to focus on, you know, whatever the news media is talking about in relation to, you know, a particular political issue of that, you know, hour. Because that's how fast everything's going now. But I'm pretty bored, y'all. I'm pretty fucking bored. A lot of people complain about how terrible things are. I'm gonna complain about how bored I am. Like, I am so bored with this country. Mainly because, like, they just keep doing the same shit over and over and over again. And it's like, I just feel sorry for them. But there's no point in that, because if you try to explain things to them, like, they either don't care or, like, they don't want to know. So, like, they have no right to complain. If they don't want the truth, then they have no place to say that, oh, they stand for that shit. No, the fuck you don't. You stand for big business. You stand for big business. Every Republican stands for big business. Are you kidding me? Big business, big agriculture, big pharma, big tech. All the big stuff, because you're so conservative.